Hello everyone. I hope you all are doing well. Welcome back to Smart Contract Labs. So in today's video, we are going to design a smart contract that is based on decentralized marketplace. Let's see what is decentralized marketplace. So here are the points that are related to the decentralized marketplace, and it's a marketplace for digital assets. And the digital assets may be the images, videos, audios that you want to sell online, right? So you can create this marketplace by using the smart contract, and you can manage them all using the different functionality. For example, we have different functions here. We have add asset function that allows the user to add assets by providing the different attributes of it, and then get asset count, that how many assets you have till now. Then you can also get the details, and you can also transfer the ownership once it is bought by some other person. Then you can also transfer the ownership of the asset, right? So this is how you can design this marketplace for digital assets. So you can use different you can declare different asset types and define its properties, and then make it a list, make in the form of list, and then sell it online, right? So let's do the coding part, and you can just open the remix id like we by using this remix id. You can search on Google remix id Ethereum and just click on the very first link that you can see the dashboard like this. It is loading now. I guess my internet is slow today. It's not, it's taking, yeah, it's done, I guess. So what we do, we will follow the same structure while we are doing the coding part. So first we specify the two important things. One is your license identifier, and then your compiler version, and then we will create a contract, right? So go to the contract, go to Smart Contract Lab, and here you just create one file. Just create one file and name it as marketplace, right? And you can use any the other documents. I guess it's loading now. And meanwhile, it's loading. It's a bit slow. It's lagging in between. Oops. Let me try to reload it and then go to the Smart Contract Lab. And we have already created this. Let's use this information. The first information, copy it from the other file into your file like this, right? Now, so first statement, specify your license identifier, right? And second, specify the version of the compiler you need to check your code, right? Next is your contract. Just create a contract by using the contract keyword and name it as marketplace, and define its scope using start and end curly braces. Now, first task is to create variables that we want in our functions, right? So how many functions we have? We have 4 function add asset, right? For adding asset, we have to declare the asset and declare what are the different properties of a particular asset we are considering, and also specify the type of the asset, because we do when you talk about the digital asset, we can have images, we can have videos and audios, right? So these are the things we want while defining these functions. So first, if you think of this as first should be your asset type, right? So for asset type, because we have 3 asset types, if we are considering audio, video, and images. So instead of taking the 3 different variables, you can take enumerator enum, because it store the different different options, values, and different stages under one name and make it as asset type, right? And for declaring it different values, we use curly braces separated by comma. First one is your image, second one is your audio, and third one is your video. This is your digital assets, types of digital assets, right? And we usually don't terminate it with semicolon, right? And next is to create a asset. If in order to create a asset, you need to store the multiple data types under one name, that is your asset, right? For that we have a structure. So you just create a struct asset, and first specify who is the owner of this asset, and then the name of the asset, and then price and your asset type. Asset type, and take it as asset type, right? And your asset type, this should be of this enum type, because we have three values here, right? And how you can access the enum values? So first store at 0 index, 1 and 2. So it always stored the values starting from the 0 index. It's done. Now if you want to access this, so you need the multiple assets. For example, if you want to store the multiple assets, so you need a array, because array stores the multiple assets. And but here for a one asset we have multiple values, so we declare the object of this structure array type, right? How we can do this? So because we are creating the object of this structure, then it should be of array, because we are creating the array. So we always specify an array using this square brackets, and then it should be of public, and then listed assets. It is stored the list of the assets we have created till now. Yeah, we have added till now, right? Now, let's talk about the functions. So that's all about the assets, because we have already declare its type by using this enumerator, and then we declare its attribute by using structure, and we also created one array of this structure type, so that we can list them all under one name, that is your listed assets, right? Next is first function is your add asset. So let's work on this function add asset, right? And here for adding an asset, you have to provide all this information. So you can take the parameters here. So first is your string type. So whenever we declare string, we always use this memory. Why? Because for storing for storing the value for the temporary purpose, we can use this memory, because this value will not get stored on the blockchain. So and also a string is of a dynamic nature. That means there is no fixed size for it. It depends upon the value it holds. So that's why we always use memory with a string. And then name of the local variable, it is name. First one is for this variable, and this is for message.sender. And next is your uint. Oh, sorry. Uint and price, right? Next is your asset type. That is asset type, and just take asset type, and this function should be public, and then start and open curly braces, right? Done. Now so in this function, so first we check the price of the asset should be greater than 0. If it is 0, then it's fine. Otherwise, you have to declare an error message that price must be greater than 0, like this. And then if it is fine, So here we have underscore price. The local variable is underscore price instead of the price, right? And if it is fine that price is greater than 0, then in that case you just need to add all your details by using this listed assets, right? And for adding the details in the structure or in an for adding the details in an array, we have a function called as push, right? So here we can use this push matter for adding the details. So the name of the array is listed asset and the name of the function is push. And here we are pushing the values that we are gonna store in a structure type of data. And for that, you need the name of this structure, that is because this is of asset type. So asset, and here you just specify the parameters. And for specifying the parameters, you can specify by using the curly braces separated by comma. And so first is your owner, right? And the value we are storing here is send message.sender. And then next one is your name, and value we are storing is local variable. And then next is your price, and value we are storing as local variable price. And it should be separated by a comma, not semicolon. Let me correct this like this. And then your asset type. So this one, not this one. So you have asset type should be the asset type, right? And this is your last value. So that's why it should be terminated by semicolon. So this is how you can add the details of the structure by using the push function in an array, right? So this is how it's gonna work. And that's all for this function. So let's move to the next function. So next function is getAssetCount. So this is a simple one because you can access the length of your array by using .length function. And by using this function, you will straightforward get the count of the array because we are storing all the asset in this array, that is listed assets. So function get asset count, and just make this function as public. And because it is just returning the value, accessing the state variable, whenever if the function is only accessing reading the value of the state variable without modifying it, so we have to keep that function as view. Returns, because we will return sorry, we will return un type of value, so it should be of un type. And next just return it. So name of the array is listedAssets.length. That's all. Right, it is done. Now, next function is getAssetDetails. So here in this, we get the asset details by using the index value, because we have used the array for storing the details of asset. So array always store its value starting from index 0. So first asset will get stored on 0 index, then next will be on 1 index and 2 index and so on, right? So let's create this function first. Function get asset details, and here just passed one local variable. Let's specify the index of that asset. Uint asset index, like this, right? And make this value variable function as public. And again, we are just accessing the details, so that's why it should be of view types, and it returns the various values. First one is of address type. Next one is your string type. Next one is your uint. And next one is your asset type. Asset type. Done. It should be of asset type, right? Yeah. So just define the scope of this function by using curly braces, and like this, and it should be string memory, I guess. Yeah. Next, yes. Now, first we need to check index the user has entered is correct or not, right? Is valid or not. For that, we need a required statement. So for checking this, the asset index should be less than the length of this array. For example, if you have 5 elements, the length is 5, but index ranges from 0 to 4. That means 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and all values are less than the length of the array. So this is how you can check whether this index is valid or not. So required asset index, oh my god, sorry, index, if it is less than listed asset dot length, then it's fine, we can execute this function. If it is not, then we have to display error message at invalid asset index. Right. Now we need to just access all the elements and display and return them. Right. So for accessing them, we need some storage variable. So whenever we use the storage along with the variable, that means we are permanently storing its value on the blockchain, and that should be of your asset, the structure type, that is your asset. So here we are using this storage keyword and making a variable called as asset, and here we are storing the listed, accessing the value from of a particular index, asset index, like this. So what does it mean? So I have created one asset variable, which is of which data type? Asset type, the structure type, right? And I am just keeping this variable as a storage. Why I am specifying here? Because we are gonna because we will access this variable to access all the details, and it should permanently store on the blockchain. So that's why we are keeping this variable as storage. And how we are accessing it? By using this array, and here we pass the asset index, the index that will be passed by the user. For example, index user will pass, for example, user has passed value 0, right? So listed asset at 0 index, all value get stored at the asset, which is of which type? The asset type, the structure type. Now by using this variable, you can access all the attributes that you have declared in it, right? How you can access it? Let's see. So just we are gonna return the value like this, asset dot owner, right? So this is your first return value address. Next is your string type, then asset dot, next is your name, I guess. Yes. Next is your name, and then asset dot price, and then asset, sorry, this should be asset dot asset type, like this. So we are returning first is your address type value at asset dot owner by using this variable asset dot name, and then price, and then asset type. So this is how it works. Next, we have which function? So get asset details done, transfer ownership, right? If you want to transfer the ownership of a particular asset to the another owner, so in that scenario, you have this function transfer ownership. So for transferring the ownership of particular asset, so you need the index of that asset, right? So you need one local variable called as asset index, right? And make this variable as public. And along with the make this variable as function as public. So along with the asset index, you also need the address of a new owner. Address underscore new owner. And this should be of like this. So this is the definition now. Now here, first again, we check the same thing and just copy this statement from here that the index that is entered by, just copy this line because what happened? Let me copy this line here. So we are just checking the same thing. It should be less than that. We have a valid index. Otherwise, we just transfer the ownership. And for transferring the ownership, we again use the same, the storage asset like this. Like this. So we have used the same syntax that we did in the get asset details. Now you can use this asset function and change the owner as new owner. And you can just assign the new owner as asset.owner is equal to new owner like this. So this is how you have transferred the ownership. And one more thing we need as well, that this function should be called by only owner. So for that, you just need one statement as well. Message sender equal to owner, then it's fine. Otherwise, you can just display only owner can call this function like this. And should be owner. Undeclared identifier. Okay, so you just got it because we have not initialized it. Just cut it from here and paste it here. And then instead of using owner, just use asset dot owner. Right, this is correct now. So this is how you can access. It's done. So what we did first, we took two parameters from the user index and the new owner address. And now if the asset index is valid, that means is less than the length of the array, that it is a valid index. And after that, we have we again created the storage as asset, which is of structure type. And we are just using the value that we have stored in an array called as listed asset. And now after this, we can utilize this variable for accessing all the variables we have in the inside the structure. So that's all. That's all. I guess we have done all the functions, all four functions done. So let's compile this first. Let's compile this. So it's compiled. You can see the red tick here. Now just deploy it. So it is deployed here. Yes. So it is deployed here. So first add asset. So for adding asset, you need the name of that asset. So for example, I need to store painting. So first is your, for example, this is your the name of your asset. Then second, the price, it's 10 ether. And the asset type is of which type? It's a image type, so it should be of 0. So we always store the asset type of 0, 1, 2. So we always specify the integer value here, the index of the enumerator, right? And just add asset. So it's done. The asset is added. Now I want to add one more asset. So this asset is a video, and it's a video about nature, and the cost of this video is 20. And what is the type of this? The type of this asset is video type 0, 1, 2, right? And just add this asset. So I have added two assets now. Now I want to access the details of this asset. So I have added two assets. So at 0 point, I have added the image asset, and at one index, I have added the video asset, right? So first, just get count. So we have two assets, and get asset details. You just need to enter the asset index. So I'm adding the 0. 0 is of image. So the address of the owner is this. It's painting. It's 0 type. That means image, and the price of this here. Now, you can also check the asset added by using this listed asset array as well, because it's of public type, right? Next is transfer the ownership. For transfer the ownership, for example, I want to transfer to this person, so I just copy this address, and make sure you're calling this function from the owner of this contract. So transferring the ownership, first I want to transfer the image address, so the first should be of index type for transferring, and second the address of the new owner, and then transfer the ownership. So yes, I have transferred the ownership to this uh, to the new owner, that is the address I have specified here. So all functionalities are done, I guess. Thank you so much for your time. Have a nice day. Bye bye.